Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn, and boy, I hope all of you are as excited for this show as you were for last week's show, because you should be. I think I can probably show you every item is an item that you haven't seen before. We are going to do those Baltic amber with insects, and insects that are big enough to see with the naked eye, unlike the ones that I mentioned last week on the internet. I was kind of looking through some of the choices, and when I got to looking, it's like, wow, that is such a good deal for, you know, a big insect. And then the fine print, and the fine print is always important, said the pictures have been taken with a microscope. Yeah, not, you know, 10x magnification, no, a microscope. And it said that the actual insects are like 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter kind of size, which is really kind of tiny. Give you an idea, a 1-point diamond, which you might know, kind of familiar with that size, is 1.3 millimeter on average. So, yeah, we have some cool things for you. And then I also brought, and don't want to carry it around anymore because it's weight, that sapphire that I told you the story about having found. Some of you may have seen it a few years ago. I haven't shown it in a while. At Chunky Gal. And by far the specimen is really finer than almost any other specimen I've seen. And when it comes to, because I'm not calling it a ruby, even though I just showed Raven this morning with UV fluorescent light, it has a strong chrome signature, bright red fluorescence, even though you're going to see that it's more of a pink sapphire. So, you know, technically maybe ruby for that reason, but it's really, really rare and unique in the way I split it between the two halves. So, quite unusual. All right, so we do have a winner for the trivia, and also we have some pieces, including for Lisa in North Carolina. So when I get to that, it's the charoite that she'd been hoping for. And, you know, none of you took advantage of those charoites I had shown, and they were just really, I've had them for a long time, and a really great value. And as it turns out, so I got them back, and I cannot find a single one of them. They're on the cart somewhere. I don't know. It was kind of really weird. But I did have one I had set aside. So it's a special one, and I brought it in, and also at a special value, since you have been patient in regards to waiting for me to see if I could excuse me, find the others. It's kind of odd how it disappeared. Also, I have some really unique nephrite, British Columbia nephrite jade items. Just wait till you see them, because you just wouldn't believe what they can do with jade. All right, so let's get to the comments, and I'm thinking, yeah, there's other stuff I wanted to cover, but we'll cover it as we go along the way. All right, so the two trivia questions were, helicite in quartz is also known as what? Answer being Medusa quartz. You know, I often don't like made-up retail names, and unless they give some type of information. And so, in that respect, Medusa quartz, to me, Medusa sounds a little bit more mythological than it does referring to the Medusa jellyfish, which is what it does refer to, because sometimes the way the spherical crystals can look. And unless you know what a Medusa jellyfish looks like, you're out in the cold. So it makes for a kind of a great sounding retail name, but for practical purposes, no. The other one also that not really hip on, but since more people will know what, oftentimes, and the meaning of it by using this alternate name being manifestation quartz. Many people will know it than if I said crystal in crystal quartz. They kind of, well, what kind of crystal, that kind of thing. Might be more confusing than just say manifestation quartz. Oh yeah, I know that. So, which that is kind of more of a metaphysical name given to it. But so in the case of the helolite in quartz, that is a mineral not many people are going to be familiar with, but probably more so the Medusa. So why I used it. So that being the correct answer would be Medusa quartz. The second question was, what rhodochrosite crystal form is often found at the Chakua mine, or however you may pronounce that? That would be, I'd have to get to be certain that is not a Spanish name, which, I speak enough Spanish to recognize that. I think that's more of a native, of course, where this mine is up high in Peru. So, you have the Incans and other cultures there that it's probably more related to. So, the best I can do is to pronounce it kind of phonetically with a little Spanish accent to it. So, Chakua, at least I can remember, because I know a chew is, I associate with sneezing, and then I can add the rest of it on. So, oddly enough, when you go and you look through all the different rhodochrosite forms, for Peruvian rhodochrosite, that one particular mine produces the scalenohedral crystals that we're referencing, or dogtooth. So the dogtooth calcite crystals, what they look like. Well, that is a scalenohedral crystal. And rhodochrosite, from the Sweet Home mine rhodochrosites, that take on a totally different form from the Sweet Home mine. You picture them more as cubes, or variations of rectangles, kind of thing. So that is unique form for that particular mine, it seems, over the other Peruvian mines not producing scalenohedrals or dogtooth as much. So we'll get to the comments now and see how everybody did and what everybody's been up to. So first we have Miss Gabby. Miss Gabby says, greetings everyone. What a show. Got almost everything I wanted, including the fabulous elmwood calcite / sphalerite specimen and the Peruvian scalenohedron rhodochrosite. Wow. Speaking of two great crystals, and what I was going to say was that other perfect example of a scalenohedral crystal or dogtooth is that elmwood mine calcite that you saw. That specimen was, it couldn't get more classic for an elmwood mine Tennessee piece. You just look at that without even seeing the sphalerite side. You just look at the calcites on the matrix like that, nothing else around them, and boy, you just stands out. So I'm glad to see that you got that specimen and to know where it went, because it was certainly a wonderful value. And on top of that, a really wonderful, wonderful piece that I've enjoyed for a long, long time. So excited to get both, she said. Got one of the Medusa quartz specimens also. Had a couple in my collection, but nothing of much size. So happy about that too. My trivia answers are in the description of my purchases, meaning she got her answers right on the trivia. And that's the thing about the Medusa in quartz, is those pieces that I offered were actually large for what you normally see. I actually have some smaller ones that I may be introducing just for price points, but all of those were really super value, because it is really a rare item to find. Helolite in itself, and then helolite in quartz is pretty cool. The first thing I noticed when I went to the show today was the 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations. I should have I should have my pendant also by the end of the week. Really looking forward to it. Love, Miss Gabby. Well, Miss Gabby, we love you back. Hope I can work it out to where I get to see you next time you come by. And I think we're going to work out something like that. So I already hear talk of it. So let's just make it happen, because unfortunate that I didn't get to see you the last time you buzzed on by. So yes, the pendant you should have, and I have a picture of it, but I didn't want to show the picture until you had it in person. If I could show it in person which I wanted to do, but just timing didn't work out, on the show where I could really get the detail and show it to you that way, fine, but just by a single one-dimensional picture wouldn't do it justice. But I will show the picture next week after you get to see the thing, the item in person. Then I'll show everybody, and they'll get a good general idea of what that beautiful wire wrap turned out and how it looks. Cindy in Pennsylvania says, hello, Rock Family. Wowzer, with big capitals and bold print. Wowzer show this week. Such beautiful specimens this week with lots of exclamation points. Thank you so much for the trivia prize of rough emerald from Brazil. Needless to say, I'm excited to see them. 10,000 subscribers. Woohoo, Shawn, congrats. You deserve it for all your hard work and lessons taught. Thank you. Trivia, Scalina Hedral and Medusa Quartz, getting it right. See you all next week. Can't wait. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Miss Elisa in Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven GSN crew, and Rock family. Where have you been, Miss Elisa? I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas and had a great start to this new year. Shawn, I hope you had a great birthday. Thank you. I honestly can't believe how much time has gone by since I last wrote a comment and seen a show. I swear I blinked and almost 2 months are gone. Everyone in my family is doing well, but we had some major life changes. With that, we have been trying to find a new normal and routine in life. Professor, you really outdid yourself this week. So many amazing items and great information also. I'm opting out this week, but my answers are Paraíba Quartz and Medusa Quartz. Scalina Hedral, I am looking forward to your next show and the Baltic Amber you talked about. Have a great week, everyone. Miss Elisa, well, thank you, Miss Elisa. And you got right, but you didn't have to opt out. Mr. Brad from Pennsylvania, to Shawn, the Raven, Asif, Dave, the Gem Shopping staff, and the whole Rock family. Well done there. Greetings, a belated happy birthday to Shawn, and here's to your father's memory in these waning days of January. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Love the new backdrop and your nice shirt. Thank you for that too. It was a nice shirt. I don't wear it too often because I'm afraid I'll damage it. Also love the specimens in this show. The Medusa Quartz was very nice, so I snagged one, a trivia answer. I also love the Scalino Hedral Rhodochrosite crystal, also a trivia answer. Well done on getting the answers right, and well done and smart to snag a Medusa Quartz, especially at the prices I was offering those. That was exceptionally a good value. Snagged a manifestation quartz, but missed the cinnabar on dolomite. That cinnabar on dolomite, it could have easily been 2 or 3 times that amount, with especially with the size cinnabar crystals and the quality in them. I knew it would sell. I just probably should have not sold it so inexpensive, but that's what this show's about, right? Great, fantastic deals. And education about them to go with. That would look so delicious, I could almost taste it, like one of those cinnamon buns you buy in the mall with lots of sugary frosting. But I wouldn't want to ingest any HG, mercury, or break a tooth. Oh my gosh, you are killing me. I haven't had any breakfast this morning with that description. And yes, those Cinnabon buns are, yeah, I have a weak spot for those. Thanks and congratulations on the 10,000 subscriber milestone. Be well, be warm, be healthy, Mr. Brad. Oh, and I am dropping you a quick note to ask you to check on the delivery status of the Thulia wood box from the 11/27/23 show. I've not received it. Yes, Mr. Brad, I did check on it and already received a reply from Christy in our inventory department specifically for this show. And not her, but another person, the difference an errant number makes in the sales order, because it actually got shipped to another client. So if the client is listening right now, the little Thulia wood box that you received, that of course you know you didn't order and it was free, if you would send it back, please, that would be great. Now, in light of that, Brad, no worries, because I'll make sure that you're fixed up, and that even though there's no two Thulia wood boxes the same, I do have another one, and hopefully the client will send that box back and do the right thing by doing so. But either way, we'll make sure you get some. So I'm glad that you asked, because I don't want people to wait even as long as you did, because after they're so efficient, after 3 or 4 weeks, there's a problem. So definitely don't be bashful to ask about where your free item is. That one is certainly worth tracking down, and either way, we'll make sure that we take care of you on that. All right, we have Jimbo in Delaware. Hello, Rock Family and Shawn. I was very impressed with this show. Loved the different stones. Seems a lot of people like that show. I have been to Young Harris, checked it out. Never got to the classes, loved the area. Also, back to the Georgia days. Yep, we know that Jimbo used to live in Georgia, so he's familiar with it. And Young Harris is a great college little town way up in the North Georgia mountains, and it's a really beautiful, beautiful area. And they have a lot of artistic type of classes that they offer, including lapidary arts and those kind of things. So, I don't know. I always think about, what am I going to do when I never retire, of course. Nope. When it's your hobby, you never quit doing your hobby, do you? So, yeah. Trivia, Medusa quartz, and then his answer was would have made a fantastic trivia question. He said neotasite, which, remember what neotasite was from last week's show? It was a new mineral that you would not have had if anyone who ever got that one particular specimen of rhodochrosite with the neotasite on it. So well done, Jimbo, for that coming to mind. Take care, Jimbo in Delaware. Keep looking down, never know what's to be found. Ciao, fellow rock hounds. So when I see that, I know it is Charles in Oregon. I really enjoyed this show. The shapes of the quartz cabochons were especially interesting. Rutilated and dendritic quartz are some of my favorites, and you should have really loved those dendritic quartz pieces especially. My wife Heidi gave me an awesome 8-inch flat lap for Christmas. Great gift. It uses magnetic discs and has no spindle. The main purpose is to have a tool that would make the backside of my cabochons perfectly flat. I actually use my graves, which will take an 8-inch lap, so I'm able to get really flat 8-inch flat lap, or I can put a curved disc in there and wooden discs, and it's quite versatile. But it is really important to get a really nice flat back. And if you just have a 6 or 8-inch grinding wheel set up, it's difficult to really get a perfectly flat back, even if you use the end disc. Still, no. So that was a super gift that she gave you. The main purpose is to have a tool that would make the backside of my cabochons perfectly flat. I can also now hone slabs so that they will consume less time and less silicon carbide on the vibratory lap. However, after watching this episode, I am inspired to try my own faceted freeform cabochons. I want to try replicating the domed table like the ones you showed. Dome tables, even the slightest amount of dome to them, are fantastic for things like opal. If they if you, let's say you only have a thin seam of fire that you're working with on an opal piece, as opposed to just a perfectly flat surface on that opal, or even if you can just dome it ever so slightly. Now remember, you have to, once you start the dome, you have to be able to do it so that you completely remove what would be the flat spot in the very center. So it has to be, if you don't have much room to work with, very gradual, but it can be done. And the goal, of course, is when you see that final little flat spot in the middle disappearing, then you've done your job correctly, but you don't want to do it at an angle to where you're cutting away fire from the edges. Now, that applied to quartz or anything else, same kind of thing. A slight dome adds another complete dimension, looking into the fishbowl, so to speak. Now, I first attempted faceting from cabochoning as soon as I got my faceting machine, and I did it with opal. So, of course, I only cabochon opal, but I thought, what does opal look like faceted? And I had seen and heard about one other person doing it. Now, this is 1975, 76, I guess. So I did, and it came out really, really unique. And it was just, some like an emerald cut, just straight flat sides. And I only did like 2 facets to a side and a table, but the fire, instead of it being domed, it came out of those faceted sides and actually looked quite attractive. And since I had done it with in a crystal opal, so if you do it with crystal opal, like Mexican fire opal, that's real clear but still has a play of color, Mexican precious fire opal, or some of the real crystal Australian opal, it adds a little extra oomph already and uniqueness to the piece, especially when you were doing it 50 years ago or so. So I think that makes for a really cool look, especially it did working with the helolite in quartz, items like that. It gives it a whole different look, and you get to see those unique inclusions from the side facets, which is pretty unique in itself and adds an extra dimension to looking in the fishbowl, so to speak, at the individual fishes, aka inclusions in the piece. So, great gift. I am going to showcase something today that a flat lap would be amazing to finish this piece. So just stick around, because it's a really one of America's rarest gems, and I'm willing to part with it if anyone is lucky enough to get it before I change my mind. Question: Helolite's other name did not make it into my notes. I don't know, he writes. Well, you're certainly honest then, Mr. Charles, because its other name was Medusa, is Medusa, and I appreciate that. The second one you got, rhodochrosite from the Chichukua mine, can often have a scalenohedral crystal form. So, Miss Barbara in Brooklyn writes, "Hi, Professor Shawn, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Just a quick note to say I enjoyed another show of new goodies. Got a nice clear quartz helolite at a super price." See, I like that. I like that you didn't use actually Medusa, even though that's certainly fine. But helolite and quartz, clear quartz helolite, yeah. That certainly gives me more information than Medusa quartz. At a super price, and that lovely Cinnamore specimen. Now let me tell you, Miss Barbara knows a lot of people, really smart, and a wonderful researcher. So when she says something is a super price, you know it is. And that is in reference to what I had already said about that cinnabar, especially that one over the other two, which were also a great value. But for the additional amount of money for the one I featured last week, there probably was a lot more value than the amount added to it. So that's just, how I roll. Instead of everything, everything doesn't have to be priced at the value that it should be or should expect. I just, I don't know. I'm not a good business when it comes to that. I want everyone to have a chance at affording something wonderful for a lot less than you would expect. So I'm sure other people wanted that piece. Obviously, we know one other one, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. There have been many other missed deals here that I have, believe me, that I am shocked. And one of them was all those terroites. Now I can't find them. So if you would have bought them, then there would have been an inventory. So it's all y'all's fault for not buying them the first time. As to the trivia, Healolite is called Medusa quartz because the inclusions resemble Medusa jellyfish. That rhodochrosite form is scalenihedron, like the yellow calcite crystal cluster you offered, and like the rhodocrystals from Nashwaning, South Africa, which is the Kalahari manganese fields, also called dogtooth. I think both of your offerings found a good home. Yes, Miss Gabby did bring a new home to them. Looking forward to today's show to see what else you pulled out of Aladdin's cave for us. Be well all, Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. And well done to all of you. Lots of correct answers and information. But we do have a winner this week, and the winner is Miss Barbara in Brooklyn, and your prize is something that you coined, one of the Pakistani four. And I was just talking to Asif about Pakistan. Let's show Miss Barbara what she won. Look at this. So here we have it, and this is a triplite. It is one of the actually really nice triplites. Triplites don't form in a always a crude crystalline form, and when you have this just with that little bit of matrix, it actually makes it quite attractive. The Pakistani four, all coming from mines at 10,000 feet or above, which is kind of be a lot of fun to go digging at that kind of elevation. But it's only open for, at that elevation for a few months of the year. So how fun that would be. So remember, it was the triplite, it was the pink apatite. These were the 4 different batches that I got quantity out of and have been selling it. And if you remember, there was also this Fiends, which I offered a couple last week, and the red zircons. And I haven't offered red zircons in a while because I don't think I have much left to offer. So if you didn't get in on them, that's why I say when I offer them, make sure you fill your inventory slot with them, because even for me, I have sold down really almost all I can part with on them now. So here is the neat thing about this particular crystal. Let me show you. It has some incredible back coloring to it. So and that's what's really beautiful, is the transparency to translucency of it. And you don't always see that until you put some light back behind it. It also is dichroic, so it can look different in different angles of light. All right, so let me put that one up and get set up for the show. Oh, I tell you what, if Asif would ever make me quit laughing, maybe I'd be able to talk a little bit. Here is an amazing Burmese peridot. This is a large stone. I actually recut the crown of it. It was an estate piece. It is certainly, especially for origin, a top gem world class, especially, again, for size, going over 10 carats. And if you look, of course, if you're familiar with peridot, you know peridot very commonly has inclusions of one type or another. I think one of my favorite peridots is the Pakistani peridot that has, remember the story I told you? Well, to listen to the Pakistani dealers, and this is where it's so important to know when you're a buyer exactly what you're buying or trust your seller. Well, in this case, the Pakistani seller, he goes, yes, it's peridot with rutile. And I looked at it and I knew, as soon as I looked at it, that it wasn't rutile. And peridot, I knew with rutile wasn't what was found in peridot from that region. And I said, rutile, are you sure it's not something else? He goes, oh, my friend, you must know that it's the real thing, Ludwigite. And I said, yes. I said, what? So why do you say rutile? He goes, no one knows what Ludwigite is. So I just say rutile. They know the mineral rutile. And I had to laugh. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, that works. I'm just glad I knew the difference. And he admitted it right away. So those are black, looks like really kind of shoral tourmaline, black needles. And but almost all peridot, including, you know, whether the Arizona peridot, they have a number of inclusions, including like a little bubbles like in a veil. That's what you're seeing in this one. Now, look at the way the crown is cut. The pavilion, the bottom part of the stone, classic step cutting that you can see is basically native cut. Almost all the Ceylon Burmese cutters often will do the step cut because it goes with the crystal and the way they can change the angle. It gives it a deep pavilion, but a deep pavilion also often leads to a lot of brilliance, and that's what you get here. Now, if you look at the crown, it is cut not even as an oval brilliant because I recut it. And so it is a Shawn recut special. Because of course, if it's just old stone, you're gonna get your abrasions on the top of the stone and not on the bottom. So look at that. What a fantastic color. Let me show it to you against my ruby so for an idea of size. And you can see, look at that. Big stone. Big stone. It is of a very desirable color. And of course, when it goes over 10 carats, then it's well, a special point. So I have this priced at another outstanding opportunity, especially for this kind of stone. It's only $258, which is $24.47 a carat. Yep, $258. That is a lot of peridot. And again, origin counts for a lot, and that color, very, very desirable. Just a nice, big, attractive stone. So, starting off with that jewel, and we have many others to follow. I'm not sure what I want to go to next, but I'll tell you what. Yep. Let's travel from there to item number 115-7924. 115-7924, and we're going to go from Burma to Campo Frio in Sonora, Mexico. Take a look at these. Now, let me do a little backdrop here so we can see it a little better. And yeah, there we go. That's what we want to show you. Look at this. So they're drilled. You can see the size of them. So they're really nice size. And what they are is basically the turquoise nuggets tumbled, just tumbled. And these are both from the Campo Frio mine in Sonora, Mexico. And they are natural color. And let me show you. So here is the original bag. And I have had these for, I don't know, a long time. And when I mean a long time, that's at least a decade. So this is the original bag that I had gotten them in. And you can see right there, Campo Frio turquoise, no color added, guaranteed. And Campo Frio means cold camp, I would imagine. So natural color, that's why you have two different colors. And I like that, I like that. And they're ready to go. They are ready to go. Big size. Now, I'm still holding on to this peridot. Let me put it in. By the way, it comes with one of these boxes, by the way, which, yeah, a little extra something, huh? Now, imagine those nuggets. Let's look at, by the way, price on these is a really, really good value on those. Because I have no idea what it is in typical Shawn fashion. Yeah, because I have some necklaces coming up next. But, yep, those are going to be, wow. For both of them, and I'm sure I'm going to get this wrong, but they're only going to be $18. Yeah, $18 for both. For both. So, yeah, I like the natural aspect to it. Even without it, and say they were completely, gunked up with false color and everything else, they still have to start off as something genuine. And I'm not talking about halite, I'm talking about still, if they're genuine turquoise, anything, they're certainly worth that. Now, what I've got to show you next is item 115-8024. 115-8024. Now, I thought about splitting these two up. Dave, could I trouble you for a necklace, please? A neck. I meant to get one. What I'm going to show you next is goes perfect with them, because they will string out. That one will work fine. I have a opportunity at a necklace. I don't know, Dave, your call. Black? White? Okay. Let me show you. And so, I'm going to set up this necklace, and let me be right back. Check these out. And that's why it took us a minute, because these are unstrung. They are ready to go. And instead of separating the two necklaces, in other words, each are 16 inches long, unstrung. But I thought, a lot of people, including myself, I wear a 20-inch necklace. Most everyone would. So this is an opportunity to either string a 32-inch long necklace or do a 20-inch and a, however way you want to divide up 32 inches total. You could get a bracelet out of these. Now, let me show you. Here are the two nuggets that I had just showed you. So you can see how well, of course, the colors go with these, because these would look great as centerpieces if you wanted to hang them down from it. Now, both of these are same length. I just tied one off shorter than the other. And you can see against my hand just how large these are. And again, remember how long ago? Right here it is, Campo Frio, no color added, guaranteed. So that's kind of nice to know that. I always like, especially in turquoise, natural colors. Natural colors. Beautiful polish on these. And again, they're just strung on regular string, which you can take this regular string and use it. Just tie it off if you want to a clasp. It's difficult without having the brass at the end to be able to string longer. And if you didn't know this, when I first came down to Georgia needing extra money, working as over at the Galleria as the only goldsmith there, well, I would do pearl stringing. And so I'd sit in front of the TV at night in my apartment and do pearl stringing. I made, especially back then, heck, I was only 20, whatever, 21, and could make $20, $25 extra an hour by stringing. And I became really, really good at it and taught many of my followers because my fingers ended up not being able to keep clean enough to be able to keep the string clean enough. So I taught other people how to do it, and still people come to me on how and ask me how to solve difficult problems in tying off or stringing or adding on without having to restring an entire necklace and all these technical things, the invisible clasps of pearls, those kind. And yeah, so that's just one of the other, side directions I have taken in this industry, and adding to a knowledge that is pretty much comprehensive. So anyway, your choice, you get both the necklaces. I didn't want to divide it up because it would only make just a 16-inch necklace for someone. This way, you get to have both of the necklaces, and at a price of, look at the total weight and carats, $78 for both. So keep in mind that only comes out to $39 a strand. And for a 16-inch strand, $39, that's a excellent value. And you know exactly where the turquoise comes from, which is always important. And you know about the turquoise. You know that it's not one of those completely reconstituted. Well, I've showed you before. I should have gotten out my turquoise blocks, but we'll show you another day. Great educational on that. So actually, the total price will be $78 because we're not going to sell them individually. Yep, selling them together, and so a total of $78 for both. And yep, sold together. Thank you. So there's no confusion on that. That one item number will get you both necklaces, and that way you can be assured that they'll be long enough to because I don't know, not many people can fit a 16-inch necklace anymore, unless you wanted to add other beads in between it and whatnot. But I think there's just something to be said for just a turquoise necklace. So excellent opportunity there. Now, I am going to step away for just another moment so I can set up for this next series of items you're going to love. Well, I bet you didn't think you'd see this on a turntable today, did ya? But I tell you what, it's the only one I have, and how cool would that be? Especially when people know you're a rock hound. You can put it in your guest bathroom if you want, and that's where we actually have our biggest collection of Freds, what Raven refers to as Fred. Now, those of you that could remember, that should be I may make that. Well, maybe not enough of you have heard it. I was going to make it a trivia contest, but I won't. She calls the little trilobites, the little black ones, not the big ones, but the little black ones, Freds. So she has a collection of different size Freds right in the guest bathroom, and it's basically a fossil bathroom. So if you wanted to impress people, how about a jade toilet paper holder? Now look at this. So even the end cap, now this doesn't come off or anything, the center of the toilet paper goes over this, and it's just easy, 2 screws right there to be able to mount it. I guess it would be like that, or however way it's needed to in your bathroom. But this is some really, really nice quality, especially for a toilet paper holder in British Columbian, look at that egg type formation, nephrite now. But wait, there's something else more to go with it. Item number 1157624. 1157624. I actually have 4. If you want, now these are sold individually. So,
First one.
yep, let me just put one up there and show you.
No, the one that's on the air right now, do you want to put
Okay,
the
yeah.
one out?
So I was just gonna put this one to the side because,
You don't want to sell this?
well, yeah, oh, the price, absolutely. Sorry about that, sir. $68, only $68. I could have said $168 and it would have been, you know, you could imagine it easily. It's nephrite jade, look at all that. Now, I'm leaving that there for a moment because this next item goes wonderfully with it, and it's going to be, there's 4 available.
What paper is it?
Oh boy, that's great. Yeah, also suggested, yeah, what kind of stone toilet paper could we have? I don't even think the hardest of one being talc would work for that. So item 1157624. Imagine what you could do in a guest bathroom, not just a half bathroom, and that's where we have the Fred's is in the half bathroom. So.
Dinosaur dung, you will get a
You know, I thought about showing copal today, and that would go very well. You're right. Leave it to Asif to think of that. If I offered copal next, which of course is fossilized dinosaur dung, and boy, the turtle dung we have, it looks really fresh. But Asif, you're going to take me down a road that, you know, yeah. And then leave me hanging, and then I look like, you know, it's you're on a roll, my friend, on a roll.
Can't you sell that as a complete set?
Yeah, because look at what I'm adding to the set. Yeah, you get a copal, you get to go with it. Wow, a free copal with every toilet paper. Awesome. Don't go there. Don't go there. You're taking me down a road. Look at this. Check this out. I have 4. These are being sold individually. They are towel racks or hand towel holders, whatever you want. But you can see 4 incredible items. So if you put the price up as each at only $48 each. $48 each. So you can buy one, or if you're quick, there's no limit, because sometimes, of course, in a bathroom, you might want more, 2, 3, 4 of them. Pick them up that way.
Do you have any copal to sell?
I do.
I want $1 commission.
Now it's good. That's right. Duly noted. Private joke there, folks. Private joke on the duly noted. I am staring at it. It's right over there on the cart.
Please, for me, put it up.
Really?
I bet you'll sell it.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great idea. It's right there, Dave. Can you reach it, Dave? It's right there in the box. It's already ready to go. Right in the top.
Yeah, reach right in there and grab it.
Yeah. Reach right in there in the top. Yep. Right there. Right there. I even have them ready to go. Both price points.
Make sure you put some gloves on.
No gloves needed. This is an item that I have been wanting to feature. So we have 2 price points here. And per Asif's request, we have, and you're going to get to make a choice of which size. Oh yes, it's which size you want today. Oh yes, Asif is stepped in it big this time. So let's. Oh my is right. Okay. Yeah, okay. Item number 1027021. And I've actually had these ready for quite some time. I've been wanting to present these. So this is probably as good a time as any to show you the 2 price points I have. And the other one is 6815.
I don't have this one. I have to transfer it. Give me the number after you put this.
Okay, yep. So let me show everybody now. If I can just, maybe let me turn that off, and I can just sit it right up here at an angle. Dave's going to work his magic. Okay, so it's you can't choose which one, but over here we have, these are $12 size. They are genuine. You get, look at the labeled box, coprolites from the Pliocene in Madagascar, Pliocene era. And boy, I tell you what, these sure be a Snickers bar if you want to have some fun in your local pool, because they are so lifelike. It is incredible, you know, and they're perfectly, of course, sterile. So you can actually, I'll pick one up, see, and then I'd eat lunch afterwards. There wouldn't be anything wrong with that. Well, maybe that one. That looks really genuine. Yeah. So they're 5.3 to 2.6 million years old. Okay, so that's the smaller size. Now, if you ate a lot of food the day before. Yep. So here is the item number right here, and these are a little bit bigger, as you can see. Again, you get the same age group, and there we go. I have it all set up so it's easy. Look at the size of these babies, and they are so lifelike. It is, you know, why not have some fun? Everybody needs a couple of these to have some fun. And if you want to put them in your toilet paper room, how cool. So only $15 for this size, and you just get the random one, but there's not a bad one in the bunch. And $12 for this size. So everyone, make sure you note the difference in the item number and then the pricing as well. So you can see the difference in size, but there's not much. But I tell you what, if you want a bigger effect, then for a few bucks more, you can certainly get that. And they are stone. So you can't indent your finger in them. There's nothing ooky about them. Nothing will come off on toilet paper. They are truly petrified, and it's called a coprolite.
Perfect for the display case next to the toilet paper holder?
Oh, yes. As Asif said, perfect in a display case next to the toilet paper holder. Yeah, if you want to have some fun, if you're one of those that has the laughing Santa like us, you know, in the toilet and when you walk into the guest bathroom, yeah, well, then this would be perfect. Or if you know a rock hound and think that they have everything, well, there's a really good chance they may not have one of these. And for
maybe basically saying, I don't want shit.
Oh, that's a good one right there, which I won't reiterate coming from the control booth back there. But again, these are the last ones I've had. Now, we started off many years ago. Asif has been selling, oh my goodness, I could so easily say the bad words, selling coprolites in his shows for a good number of years.
20 years I've been selling.
Yeah, he said 20 years he's been. You're going to get me in trouble. You're going to get me in trouble.
I've held more coprolite cells on TV than any man.
You have. Yeah, he is definitely responsible for everybody being full of coprolite. And his idea to bring it out. But you saw, I was ready to go. Every week I've been ready to offer you a bargain on coprolite. It's so easy to want to substitute that word. Okay, so here you go. Let me put these up and I'll be right back with some other goodies for you. Okay, so here are the goodies once the laughter died down around here. All right, just to refresh your memory, we have only available one of the toilet roll holders, which really is an amazing opportunity for only $68. 4, you can buy one or you can buy all 4 of them if you're quick of these, which are towel racks. And you can see the places for the screws. They actually, not on the toilet roll holder, but it takes whatever standard screws you want to use. But the towel rack holders come with a set of 2 screws. So each of the towel rack holders do come with screws. And how beautiful that would be. Even if you wanted to use them in your kitchen also, for, you know, the kitchen towel, you know, on a cabinet wall or whatever. And there, I actually had a bunch of cabinet poles that were in jade also. I think the Raven set those aside for me to change out some of ours. All right, so take advantage of those items indeed. Now, what I want to show you next, and while you're looking at this for just a moment, I am going to move this aside. And now this is no item number, so this is just the educational part on what I found at Chunky Gal before I forget and don't show everybody again. Now, here was the rock that, imagine up on the mountain, and this rock looking just like every other rock around you. It's, the green smaragdite you have, and often you have this layered band, which I often found did have a connection to sometimes having some of the corundum, the rubies and sapphires, above or below it. Now, so I take, this looked no different than any other, and I hit it one time, and I tell you what, I could not have been any luckier than some of those opal miners when they hit one of those yawa nuts and are able to split it right down the middle so perfectly. Well, take a look at this. Look at the size of that pink sapphire. And on both sides. Now, normally you would say, oh, wow, it broke in the middle of it, and that might be a bad thing. But actually, no. It actually broke where there's just only a thin little skin of it on this side, and you can see a much thicker portion of it on that side. And I tell you what, it glows beautifully red under ultraviolet light. So imagine that. Imagine finding that when, the biggest thing you usually find is something maybe the size of a BB. And you can see how big that is. And going to the mining museum in downtown Franklin called Ruby City, they have, of course, specimens going back decades of local minerals, and Chunky Gal is one of them. And there was nothing they had even beginning to compare with a find like this. To evaluate it, I don't know, but relative to other items, it's easily $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. There's just not anything else you're going to find to compare it to. So it's tough to put a value on it, except it's rare and it would not be inexpensive. So I only say that because people often ask me, well, do you find anything of value? And most of the time I say, no, I do it usually for fun. Well, in this case, there's value. I found value, and you've seen the other Chunky Gal pieces I've had. Yes, Chunky Gal has, in all the trips I've been up there, paid off if you're going to look at rock hunting, which a lot of course, professionals do, as a business. And in this case, to find that and be able to break it right there. It could have broken in so many other places. Now remember, it had to break all along here, so it's not just like this created a weak spot. No, corundum's very dense, and so, that's where I think if there was a saint of rock hounding, that sometimes it prevails, and or maybe it is just the Tommy knockers of the mines bringing me good fortune that day, because in a piece like that, it certainly was. All right, let me have a moment to put up this and the jade, and I'll be right back. Okay, so only have a couple of these left from way long ago, but you can see that British Columbian nephrite material, and these, if you're a lapidary, you could always sand down the sides a little bit more and polish it a little bit more if you wanted to. But, jade is tough. I'm wearing a piece today. It was my dad's. And this one, look at how translucent and transparent it is. And it's very durable. They're actually very durable. You can, beat them against the table like you do, not thinking about it, and they won't break. This one as well, 5.5 millimeter size, 8 3/4 on this one. Price on it only $12. $12. Let's look at item 115-8624. It is another jade ring, the only other one I'm offering, and this one should be about the same. Yep, same millimeter diameter. It is a smaller ring in size, at a size 6.5, and $12 as well. $12 as well. And you can see when you see those black spots in there, then you know it's a classic type of nephrite. So you have the bottom one, which is $12 and is the larger finger size at 8 3/4, and you have this one size 6.5, $12 also. Take your choice. Now we are going to stick with jade for a moment, and let's look at item 115-8924. 115-8924, and let me get my tray out here and show you these. I was going through my jade, obviously, and I had not actually seen, look at that. You know what those little pieces are? Those are actually crumbs from a Japanese iridescent rainbow garnet crystal cluster, if that gives you a hint of what you may see soon. All right, look at these. I hadn't actually ever seen these that I could remember, so apparently I picked some up along the way in those floral patterns, and there are two matching 16 by 12s and 4 matching by way of size 12 by 10s, and you know, they're decent. They're decent all the way around, really, and especially for the price for all of them, which this is kind of crazy, but all 6 pieces, $21. $21. So that is like $3.50 a piece or something like that. So an excellent value. Let's look at item number 115-8824. 115-8824. We're going to stick with the jade for just a moment. We're going to scoot those to the side and take a look at these. Now, these are all calibrated. These are of, again, British Columbian nephrite, and not a total mix of colors. They stay within a range, but certainly enough of the same colors to pair them up if you wanted to. And some really nice colors in there, as you can see. Look at really nice blend of colors. And 8 by 6 millimeters or so. Pretty cool, huh? Old stock, and that's why I am offering everything you see over here, okay? All of this, let's see, how many? 16 stones for $15, less than $1 a piece. And, you know, for those of us that cut stones, we're thinking, wow, could I cut, if I had the rough, and by the time, you know, I saw it and dop it up, could I cut that for less than $1 and make any money? Let's say your goal was to make $30 an hour. Could you cut one of those every 2 minutes? I know I couldn't. I mean, you know, so when you factor labor alone, not even counting material cost, $15, 16 carats. You can look at it. What I liked was how close they averaged to a carat each. I thought that was pretty neat. I like numbers when they come out even. Okay, next I have, ooh, you're gonna like that. Let's see if I make sure I don't have any other jade offhand I wanna feature. Nope, so let me tuck these away and I'll be right back. Okay, take a look at this parcel. Now, I'm offering 3 of these. Yep, I have 3, you know, identical as they can be. Here's the other 2. just so you can see. Now, shoral tourmaline. What I like about these particular crystals from Brazil is they have style. They have pizzazz. They're just not like those trillion-sided large ones you've seen before. These have wonderful striations on the side, additional other sidecar crystals sometimes, and they're unique. They have a lot of reflective brilliance because of the way they have grown, and see, look at that, and their striations. So here is the really good thing is, of course, the price. 500 carats, 100 grams, 500 carats to a parcel, and only $21 for everything you see. $21. That would make a gorgeous display. You can put them safely into aquariums. You can make those neat little Zen gardens, and of course, black is a color that is always in, especially in design in your home. You can just put these in a simple stone bowl or other attractive, artistic ceramic bowl of some type, and just put a bowl of crystals. And it makes a wonderful, incredible display that you'll get more questions about than you ever would if you tried to do something normal. There's nothing normal about being a rock hound and our hobby. So there should be nothing normal about the decor in your house. Look at Miss Gabby and her Christmas tree, having ornaments done by Summer, which we can do for any of you, Summer being Raven's daughter, and she paints identically to your crystal specimen. So she did the on wood, and she did those and hung. They are hanging on Miss Gabby's Christmas tree. And last I heard, she keeps it up year round. And why not? Because it is artwork. That's what it is. It is artistic artwork, and that counts for a lot. Now let me show you another shoral piece, 115-8324. 115-8324. This is one parcel. It only has 2 crystals in it, but let me show you, compared to the ones that you see there, these happen to be larger and would make a beautiful display on their own or as part of another one. So look at this. See this? It's just the quality of the crystal is nicer, and it's much larger. And here is the big daddy of them, which I really like. So you can see, look at that compared to the others. And it has some neat muscovite mica there adding to it. But, I just like that it's not like a flat termination. I like I can't say it's really broken because I don't know how it came out of the pocket. But look at those 2 together. So the 2 together, price-wise, come out to about the same if you figure the weight. So these 2, and to get the screenshot, let me just put the 2 of those separately there. And I'm offering those 2 for only $18 for both. Only $18 for both of them. And that is, when you think of only $9 a piece, that is a big look when you're talking about crystals. And excuse the noise as I'm putting these away, because I have another tourmaline to show you. And let me just do that. Okay, so now this is item 115-8424. 115-8424, and the color, well, I'm not going to tell you till you get to see it. And let me unwrap it. It is in, oh, hold on. That was something else. Hold on one second there, Mr. Ossoff. I will be right back to that one because here is the one I wanted to show. Let me make sure. Yes, item 1158524. Sounds like what I just said. Okay, great. 8524 then. Okay, and see, it's in the same box and everything, so it kind of fooled me. All right, take a look at this. Look at this one. Here we go. A far cry from a, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful pink Paprock Afghanistan tourmaline crystal. And now, that one, when I was checking on my Paprock crystals I had sold years ago, which this one would have come from those other crystals, the market value, and it still is, very expensive. But there was a time, I remember, when the Asians were really, really buying up tourmaline, and oh my, in all of our shows, you know, Ben Coe's material, everybody was really skyrocketing, because they would go to these shows and they would buy up every tourmaline they could get their hands on and push the prices up. Not that the prices necessarily have come down, because they're certainly expensive material coming out of Africa and still Brazil, but I have marked this one down relative to the other ones years ago considerably. Probably it's about 2/3 of what it would have been, about 2/3 more, put it that way. So on this beautiful pink crystal, which has, let me show you, as they often do, they'll have like a feldspar coating on some of these, but if you're patient, you can actually take an X-Acto knife or just even a flat screwdriver, because remember, either one of those, the hardness of them is less than the tourmaline. And you can scrape this material off. You can see I actually have done it in several places here. Other than that, what it is, it's a secondary coating of feldspar, and it ends up to be a nightmare for the crystal dealers and their basically laboratories almost, is what it takes, because they can use everything from sandblasting to other techniques to improve and remove unwanted material like what you're seeing here. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the high-end specimens that you see will have a lot of preparatory work done on them. In other words, they didn't come out of the ground looking always like you see them. And so in cases like this, you can do it yourself. And you know, if you had to pay, that price would be built in the time indeed. So anyway, I have a price on this guy for that wonderful, nice long piece that could easily be made into a pendant or capped for a drop. You know, it really has a fantastic, almost all the way around, showy side and translucent, transparent side to it. And you can see it in my hand. And to get an idea of the length, it's quite long. All right, price of this, only $58. Only $58, and that's, it would have easily sold for, you know, twice that, or, you know, 2/3 as much more, quite a bit. So, not that the value has dropped, it's just that's the way I am pricing it, as a incredible deal. All right, let me put these items away, and yes, we have that amber coming up. Don't go anywhere. All right, we talked about these last week and the week before, mentioned a little bit about zircons and talking about low zircon, high zircon. I said I was going to have some of the red zircons, which the Tanzanian material, they are known to have no treatments, and there isn't. These are the way they came out of the ground. Now, I had a batch of these, and you're getting in on them because I had them completely recut. They were very damaged by parcel wear, which is when you keep a whole bunch of gemstones in the same bag over a period of time. If they absolutely don't move ever, then you're fine. But over time, if you take a bag and you move it from one place to another, and if the gemstones move against each other at all over a period of time, they will scratch each other. Same hardness stones will scratch each other, and you'll get a parcel wear, which the only way to get rid of it is to recut it. And many times the value of the stone will not be worth to have them repolished and take that loss away, etc., etc. But in this case, I did have them recut and repolished, and it worked out. Now, let me show you. You can see these are it's a reddish, purplish, brownish, tannish color, whatever that may be. But you can also see that you get some color changes with the direction that you can rotate the stone. Look at that. Some wonderful, wonderful dispersion, but of course it's zircon, so that's something that you're going to expect. And in this case, I have, now that I'm seeing it in this light, it's that one may have a little bit of the brownish tint, but this one, wow, that one is a little bit different color. But in the world of zircons, by way of matching, they certainly match close enough if you need a matched pair. Price on these for the two stones, I kid you not, $38. $38. Now, let me show you, sticking with zircon, item 115-9124, 115-9124, and I have a parcel of them. Let me show them to you here first, and look at that. So you can see a nice little mix of colors. Let me move those to the side. Let me take these and splash them all over the place, which is one thing. Hold on, just stare at those for a minute, because this is one thing you do not want to do if you're at a show is, open them incorrectly in front of a whole bunch of people. I think I've told you some of the horror stories that I have seen occur, where you have a bunch of people looking in the aisle and people walking all around. And of course, they're looking for gemstones that have been incorrectly opened, or a piece of a parcel, like I've showed you before, how that happens if you don't open those correctly. Parcel papers. All right, so look at these different colors we have in these. Here is a rare round one, and of course these need to be wiped off somewhat, but look at the color. I like this one. This one reminds me of a, wow, look at that. That one reminds me of a really nice rhododendron. Well, it's where the name comes from, rhodolite garnet. There we go. Look at the sparkle to that round one. And instead of selling these individually, I thought, no, that's, too much time. There'll be someone that wants the whole parcel, and I certainly hope that's the case, because I don't know if I'd break these down and take the time to sell them individually. So you probably, it's probably all or nothing on this opportunity. Here is the big one. Let's look at that. Let me wipe it down. So how about this? Get the entire batch of these for, here we go, there's that big one. Look at that. Nice larger stone. It's a really neat mix. Boy, I tell you what, now that I see this one, I really like that stone. That would be priced separately in a normal situation and be more than. But look at that. That's one that I had recut. Okay, so here we go. Over 7 carats. What? 704, 5 stones. Sure enough, $77. So that is $11 a carat. Really? This one larger stone is worth that, and then this one is worth that. So, wow, opportunity knocking right there. All right, now let's look at we're going to have to start on that amber here, but before we get to that, I have something I want to showcase that makes it affordable. 115-8424. 115-8424. That makes this affordable. Now, what you're looking at, you already know. It is that extremely desirable and, well, basically extinct availability unless you can talk to Tenkawa Village. Look at that, see? We're side up in the Nara Prefecture on Honshu Island, south of Tokyo, and the elders, by 2005, they first discovered the garnet deposit outside the magnetite mine, which had been closed, and this fellow found it in 2004. Well, the word got out, and by 2005, they were overrun by rockhounds. Bless our poor rockhound heart. We were just looking for somewhere to go dig some rocks, and they ended up being so serious about it that they arrested a number of poor rockhounds, and it has been closed ever since to any more availability. There was a couple hundred, there was a number of kilos that were able to be removed, but that was also in larger pieces that were still attached to undesirable matrix. So what the real amount that was pulled out of there prior to it being closed is unknown. But what I know is I have one of the largest collections of them that I have ever known or seen. And why I am offering these is because you guys are my Rockhound family. I'm willing to share. As Barbara has said, of course, the prices I've made on these has been extremely inexpensive relative to the market value on these items. And in case I hadn't talked about it in a while, let me also draw this down to give you another aspect of it, is what creates the color. What creates the color on the different crystals is lamellar or lamellae, in other words, layers. Layers of slightly different types of garnet. In other words, we have the andradite, which is a calcium iron garnet, and then you have grossular, which is a calcium aluminum garnet. And it is the difference, and you actually have a little bit of spessartine that can come into play as well sometimes, and that's a manganese component. But mostly between the slight difference in the chemical makeup in the different thicknesses of the layers of the two, and we're talking about nanometers, we're talking about very small layers of the different types of garnet or chemical makeup, and that creates a diffraction grating between those layers. So there is a lamellar action going of the different layers, and then there's a diffraction grading going on as well. And that would be for a advanced class on further explanation, but it gives you a general idea of what creates those different colors reflecting off of all the different faces. This is an amazing piece. It would be classified like as a thumbnail piece, but it has quite a few garnets, and you can see where some of this had come off and why. Look at that. Look at that. So, price on this guy, I told you I wanted to offer something. Look at the way it actually stands up and self-displays in a actually quite attractive look there. So, something that everyone can afford would be, if I made this one, only $58. $58. Closed in '05. Been closed ever since. This material, as you should know, really hard to find. Pricing of $58 on something like that, it would easily be $158, $258. No telling what you would see it at for, look at this. Look at the different colors. This is one of those that you just look at that. And the more you look at it, then you really start to see, look at those reflections, just how reflective and iridescent all these colors are. I mean, the only other ones that have been found were in Mexico and Stanley Butte, which was kind of that greenish yellow base color, but none of them had a rainbow of colors that, except for the Japanese ones, by far the finest iridescent rainbow garnets in existence. So take advantage of that one, because for a cluster, for that one to be only $58, I'm offering that at that price. Just because I appreciate and love all of you guys and your support of the show. Okay, now let me show this item. We're going to get started on those because we're going to have to on the amber in just a moment after this item. This is the one I referred to Charles as, if you could, anyone that could swing this, as take advantage and do it. 115-8224. 115-8224. This is from, without a doubt, the finest and, well, really almost the only emerald mine in the United States that is of any quality that produced anything. The wrist mine was another one, but both of them, Spruce Pine, North Carolina. Let me show you this. Here is a stunning piece. Now, it is not been polished, and this is why I said this would be so fantastic to put on a flat lap as it is. Or you may have recognized the shape of this, because I have taken, remember those thin slices off of this before, and then did my cheesy spray polish, like I said, and it's worked out great. Look at this. How many thin slices, there's a little emerald right there, thin slices could you still get out of this piece? Quite a few of them. Look at the emeralds going across this. There are emeralds, when you see the whole piece I was working with, you can appreciate it much more. Now, you can see emeralds coming right through this line here, and then you can actually pick them up. Let me see, there was one that had, oh yeah, and then here on the other side, so you see emeralds coming right down through here. Now, if this was wet or polished, it might, yeah, it would, there you go, see, show them a little better. And so you can see them coming down through here, and they come all the way to the bottom. Look at the way they come across here. And then you can actually visibly see them on the surface. And this is biotite mica on the outside. Most of the time, emeralds weren't even able to be seen in the specimen because the exterior looked like this. It was only after cleaning off a lot of the different specimens that they realized that there were emeralds in this material. When it was first originally being mined, it was also marketed, and this is about over 100 years ago, it was first marketed as emerald in matrix because they took it and they cut a lot of cabochones out of it. Emerald from the United States was still something really unique and rare. Well, guess what? In over 100 years' time, there hasn't been a better emerald deposit found in the United States other than what was already in spruce pine. It was originally found, at first discovered, and I often wondered how they discovered something that far back, you know, in the woods. What, you're just walking around in the woods? How do you trip over an emerald deposit like that? You know, I've been in the woods up in the mountains like that, and unless it's wintertime and the leaves are all blown away, it's almost impossible to see really what's underground. So people happen upon them. Seldom were these ever washed out alluvially, so somebody got really lucky and tripped over an emerald pegmatite. If you want, anyone can slice this up and make those beautiful thin slices and, you know, create, you know, hanging items from it, or you can cut cabochones with the emeralds in it. You can leave this piece whole just like it is, polish the sides up on every side, and have something magnificent. But you can see there's actually quite a good number of emeralds in this particular specimen. And look at them coming up along here. Of course, they're going to be underneath the biotite here. You could grind this away and cut into those. If you wanted to expose them, you can actually see the green all throughout. The rest of this, you have your shoral tourmaline, you have hornblende. When it's cut thin, you've seen how it's a greenish olive green material. A lot of this material is. You've got biotite mica, you have quartz holding it all together. A fantastic Crabtree mine specimen. And there just is nothing being produced anymore. The only thing going on at the Crabtree mine now is, look how big that is. Wow. Wow, that's actually quite large. The only thing going on, you can see a garnet, it looks like up there. Yep. Are people that get to, you pay your money and you get to dig in the dumps, in the tailings. That's it. And you know, you're not gonna find anything near this. This was actually mined when it was bought in the mid-'80s, in 1984, 1985, and it was opened up and it was mined for about a year. That's the provenance I know to this piece. And it was pulled out during that period of time of mining. And it's an amazing, amazing specimen. I have a price on this one that is well below the market value, but again, so is everything else. It doesn't do me any good to price it to where it doesn't sell. I need to put together some money for my teeth, as you know, and for other reasons. So for that reason, I am offering this piece at, wow, it's one of those that's just gonna be hard to say goodbye to. But do me a favor and take it off my hands for only $388. Only $388. And consider if you sliced it up, the number of emeralds, and look at it that way per slice, look at it as a specimen, as a whole piece the way it is now, because you can always slice it up later if you're a lapidary, or keep it like it is. And even people like John, Miss Gabby's husband, he could, you know, flat lap polish that. And now that I know Heidi getting Charles that wonderful flat lap, he can polish it. There's, you know, Anthony can polish it. So, by the way, Mr. Anthony, where you been? Let's hear from you. So, again, or it can just be spray polished, which can always be removed. Excellent value on that. All right, let me put that up and we will get ready to show you amber with insects. Check this out. You talk about detail. Here it is.
Ever.
Yeah, Asif even
Turn it
said.
so we see it. Just turn your hand.
Yep.
Just turn. Don't do anything that
Yep.
anything straight.
The best ever for doing this. And Dave and I practiced for a moment beforehand. Now, what helps is this is not one of those teeny tiny mosquitoes. You can actually even see that its abdomen looks like it almost is engorged with blood. And
If you can make it go upside down the other way, the head will be on top. It'll look like an angel. Flying.
it looked like an angel. They're going to make me laugh.
Make the bottom
Okay,
the top.
okay.
Make the bottom the top.
Okay,
Now,
I'm going. We're going to turn it around, turn it over, and let's see what it looks like from this side.
Don't change the side now.
No.
Same side, just up and down. If you turn it back to the same side, turn it back around.
All right, you can see because it's got some things
Now
behind.
turn it back the other way. Turn it back
Okay,
the other way.
now we're
There
going
you
back the other way.
go. Just up.
Ah, there we go.
Same.
Yeah.
Turn it clockwise.
Clockwise.
Yeah, keep going.
There we go. Oh, I see what you mean. Flip it around this way. Yep. Okay.
All the way to 12 o'clock.
Okay. I'm bringing it up to 12 o'clock. Then I'll. Now let me.
Stop. Right there.
Oh, look at that.
It's straight right on there.
Yeah.
And that's how it got stuck. You see
Wow, you're right. I see that. And that is what happens. So what happens, everybody? 40 million years ago, the tree sap, damage or whatever happened, started running down the tree, and this unfortunate creature happened to land on it. And that's all it took. Once one leg is stuck, a wing gets stuck, then the sap keeps oozing down over it.
They're still attached. Look at that.
Yeah, all the legs. And what does happen, like Asif said, many times when the sap continues to move down, it will rip off a wing, it rips off a leg, depending on how long that takes. Oftentimes the body is partially decomposed, which doesn't give you anything near the detail this does. You know the whole concept of Jurassic Park extracting DNA from the blood of a dinosaur and a mosquito isn't that far-fetched by way of the science behind it or the possibility of it.
DNA preserved there.
Yeah, there's absolutely DNA preserved because this thing is preserved as an entire, whole, complete specimen. So it is absolutely possible. 40 million years ago. Now, for tree resin to turn into amber, it goes through a polymerization process. In other words, a multi-step chemical change of the amber, the resin itself. If it doesn't go through that chemical change, it is not amber. It takes minimum of 100,000 years, upwards of the oldest amber to date is 325 million years from the Carboniferous period. So this is an exceptional specimen.
Almost was animated.
Yeah, they really do. This is, I said I had some amazing pieces. This is one of them. Now, I'll give you the look of what it looks like as a large cabochon, and you can see that this is there we go, a nice large size cab. And look at how big that is against my finger. I mean, we don't even need, let me get a pointer, magnification. And that's what I'm saying. That's what is so unusual. Look at that. In these pieces is the size of the bug. And so that is a mosquito. It's from the Baltic Sea area. In other words, the Baltic Sea, as it keeps washing against the shore, keeps washing out amber from that period of time. That's why when you hear about Baltic amber, it's the countries surrounding the Baltic Sea is where a lot of this material is being found. The material with the insect from the Baltic area is the most valuable, more valuable than any other amber with insects, including the Dominican Republic. This is a really fantastic opportunity because I have this priced at a, I'm looking down, so I'm doing two things at once. Yeah, how would you like this entire piece for only $68? only $68. Now let me set that right down here for a moment. To be able to have something that is visible with the human eye, with just your naked eye. That is what is so unbelievable within that piece. Let me notate on here that amazing deal. Now, this next item I have for you. Let's look at item 115-5624. 115-5624, and this piece is going to be one with a caddis fly and also maybe a baby roach. So let's get your opinion of what you think it might be. So let's find them first. Look how big the piece of amber is. So this is a good size piece of amber. And wow, look at the size of that. That is huge. That doesn't even need magnification. That is stunning. That is let me magnify this anyway, just so we can see. That is simply thrilling. You know, we're looking back at 40 million years ago. That is, I don't know, it's hard to even...
It's like preserve and not ever decompose.
No, and it won't ever decompose. You can find some that have partially decomposed before they were covered over and the bodies look melted. You can see, look at the detail. The wings, you can see the, what's it called in wings? Those fine veins that are in the wings even.
You know, I wonder if the lung still has the last breath.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, holding air that period of time. I'm sure they do all that. Now let's look for what I think is there's another bug in here, and it's kind of fun to...
insects will save humanity.
Maybe so. There could be. They say everything is on this earth that we need to save humanity. There is another well-defined bug on this because it looks... well, I want you all to see it to see what... I know it does look like to see what your opinion is as to what you think it is. What type of...
Picture stone amber.
Yeah, yeah. This is like real life. Oh, hold on. Hold on. It's so much fun when you have a piece of this. There it is, to explore it. All right, Dave, yeah, now I need your magic. There's the other bug. And now, granted, this one is a little small, but let's look at it from a couple of ways, that way, and then let's see if I can there it is right there. In the bottom portion of, so let me backlight that. Down there, there we go. So this one, I was actually,
oh, there it is right there.
yeah, there it is.
Good job.
Okay, you see how it looked like maybe a roach? There we go, as I turn it.
Clockwise, see if you can...
Yeah, as I turn that. Okay, let me turn it this way. Wow, that is a great shot.
Migrating, it's walking.
Yeah, there you go. You can actually see though where it was walking. Look at this little trails.
It looks like
It does.
And somebody's walking on it.
Yeah, it looked like it was trying to escape out of it. You can actually see the little track marks or the trails it's leaving behind as it...
Skirting out.
Okay, you see how it looked like kind of
It's like a warthog.
a warthog, exactly.
Yeah, it is. It looks like the warthog from Lion King.
What was his name? We were talking about that later. Was it Akumba Matata?
Yeah, Hakuna Matata,
Okay, so that one.
There
Look,
it is, right there.
there it is. There it is.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
Can you zoom in?
Okay, that's all the way. With you.
We're all the way in. Okay, hold on. Let me get my 35. Hold on, wait. I got my 35 power. Hang on.
Don't burn the stone.
I know. Hold on. I'm frozen. Wait. Here we go. 35 power. Get out. Okay.
We're going deep.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, look at it.
Now what does it take? Let's see.
It's like a bird now.
Wow.
Look at that horn. No.
This is how much fun you can have at home, folks. Just the same amount of fun
Lenses.
that we're having with, you know.
Oh, look at there.
Look at, he does
There's
look.
two of them.
That's so cool.
Doesn't it?
Yes. I mean, that almost make you cry because when you think about going back the time,
Oh my God.
it's like you're tracing foot. Look, you see it's two antenna coming out in the front. That's what made me think maybe, I don't know. All right, I have others to show. So this one, price on this guy, again, well below. These are beautifully polished and well below any kind of market value of that, especially this one has 2 bugs. I am making this guy, believe it or not, it's only $77.
That's a lava lamp effect.
It does have a lava lamp effect, $77. Okay, now, no one's gonna go anywhere on me, staying right here. This next item, 115, 59, 24. And now, look at the quality of this amber. Now remember, amber often has micro bubbles in it. Now sometimes it is heated, and that's when you get your spangle effects. You know that we've talked about those disc type effects. That is a giveaway for the fact when it has been heated. The heating, they bring it up to a temperature and it tends to clarify amber. I don't see any of those in this material. Plus, I think the heating might damage the bugs. All right, let's look at this guy. You can see he's a little bit smaller, but nevertheless, he's easily eye visible. This one has a gnat. You can see his little wings. So it's one of those, it probably was irritating him then, irritating him now. And now, I'm not an entomologist. I'm going by some of the information that was given to me when I had gotten them. Others, sometimes it says insect. And there's many different kinds of gnats from even now. So when you put gnat or fly, you look at how big those back wings are.
What's up with those?
Yeah.
Like,
And the long, yeah, look at the long antenna. So if it's a gnat, it's not a gnat that we normally think of, I don't think. Look at how amazing, look how clear those wings are, how long they are. And then its antennae.
it's a spider thing.
Spider octopus.
Yeah, but it has a spider with wings. You see those wings though.
Are those? Oh yeah, they are wings.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh wow. Turn it sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the wing.
yeah.
Oh wow, look at that.
That's really cool. Hold on, let me use,
Put your hand that's
hold on.
behind it.
Let me quit closing this stupid thing. Okay, let's look here for a minute. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. You can actually see my fingerprints behind there, but I should be using maybe white paper. Okay, so we got others to get to. Anyway, look at how clean this entire piece of amber is in general. And wait, is there another one over there? Maybe so. Or there's also, you can find vegetation. You can find parts of bugs. And yeah, not sure what that is, but we'll leave some of that fun to all of you to enjoy doing that. Exactly what I enjoy doing was looking at these guys. Okay, this one, believe it or not, how would you like to get the opportunity on this guy for only, wow, why not? Especially the clarity of that is makes it certainly valuable for the amber itself. $38. Only $38 on that, which is, the amber would be worth that if it didn't have a bug in it even. Okay, let me show you. I have item number 115, 6824. 115, 6824. Look at this guy. And, okay, so what do we have here? Let's see. Let me get a fly. Let's find, oh, he's not going to be hard to find. Look at the size of this guy. Holy, look at that. Well, you can see him. He's certainly not hard to find at all. And now, with further magnification, let's look at that. Wow. I mean, he looks like he's in motion, like he is alive. Look at that. So a fly is a very broad general term for a bug with wings that flies. Because they actually, entomologists do have names for these, certain ones, and if you did some homework on the internet, you could probably maybe figure it out a little bit more so. But look at, you can even see so much about that. And when you think about the 40 million years, 40 million years, mankind's been around, what, 8,000, 10,000 for modern man, maybe a little older, 40 million. Oh, there's a great angle right there. All right, let me see if I have anything else. I know we got to wind the show down. Oh yeah, so the price on this guy is a crazy opportunity, again, at only $77. $77 on that. Hold on, let me notate that. And my prices do not reflect what they're actually worth. It doesn't. And so, here. Two things. One real important one. I have a piece of copal. It just goes with the lesson. Here is copal. Copal is amber that has not matured or polymerized. It often has a lot of different bugs because they often put them in the copal. You can see these. This is just an educational tool. It's not genuine amber. It's amber that can be anywhere from, came out of the tree yesterday and got a little hard, or is upwards of 1,000, 10,000 years old. But it is not polymerized or chemically changed so that it could be called amber. There's ways to test it. There's different ways, but they're easy to read how to find the difference on the internet if you want. Not worth my time to fully instruct you on that. At the moment, I have one last item I need to show. This is and this is strictly for Lisa in North Carolina. So you can pull the item number up. They know not to sell it to anyone else. 1157824. 1157824. Poor Lisa missed out on the Charoite because we could not find it when it was available. And I apologize for that. So the only piece I had left was a nice one that I had saved for at home. But Lisa in North Carolina, don't anyone else buy this, but they know that not to sell it to anyone else. Here is that incredible piece of Charoite. And it is beautiful, beautiful quality. It has some wonderful natural silica, in other words, quartz associated with it. Has, looks like maybe a little bit of tanaxite in it, but you can see just how beautiful that is. And this is from what they call the type locality, which is a very desirable piece to have from, in other words, its original name and type is named after. So this is named after the confluence of the Chara River and the Toco River confluence, where they come together, and that's how it got its name. This one I'm making a special opportunity price for you. Miss Lisa, of only $48. $48 if you want that. So we're going to set that aside. You get first choice. If I find those others, you'll still get first choice on the other ones if you want, and you can always return this one. I'm hoping that we do. I hope this brings up. Okay, so that one will be strictly for Miss Lisa. We had other items to show, but the clock has run out. Let me get back to you with trivia. Okay, so I was cleaning up here for a minute, getting ready for trivia, and noticed how many items I didn't get to show that I wanted to. Kind of last week, except it was a whole grouping of amber. But this time, in particular though, there was one piece of amber that I didn't show, and it has a huge ant in it. So look forward to that next week. But there were so many other items that I didn't get to show you I wanted to. All of them are exciting. So you kind of got a feel of last week, this week. Never know what's going to be next week. So make sure you tune in for that. Okay, we have a couple of trivia questions for you. What two varieties of garnet are involved in, let me make sure I read this the way I wrote it. What two varieties of garnet are involved with the iridescence in Japanese rainbow garnet? So, if you took notes, fine. And of course, you can always watch the show multiple times before you listen to the trivia. But anyway, we talked about this. So what two varieties of garnet are involved or part of the cause of the iridescence in Japanese rainbow garnet? All right, that was question one. Question number two. Name three other, even though we talked about four, I'm only asking for three other minerals that are the most common associated minerals with the matrix of the Crabtree emeralds. So obviously emeralds isn't going to be one of the answers, but you saw that specimen, and it's important to know this because it can completely help you identify a specimen from where it came from. And I say that because everything from identifying the large Bahia Brazilian emerald crystals to the, if you watch the live shows that I did for many, many, many years, we sold a lot of the Colombian rough emerald crystals or emerald crystals that were made into 18 karat earrings and those sort of things. So also emerald specimens in matrix and whatnot. And when you see those, I've actually sold on this show not only Afghanistan emeralds but Pakistani emeralds, and in the matrix you get to where you can identify where each one's from. So if I saw a specimen of emerald, there would be no doubt in my mind, and it's not just my level of knowledge, it could be just yours as well, just as easy. If you just picture what the piece was that you saw today, and in this case, just remember or just know what a particular mineral looks like, and then associate it with where the emeralds are that you've seen. And yeah, there's some overlapping, but if you saw an emerald specimen with graphite on it, where would it be from? I should make that an extra credit. But that's what I'm saying. Graphite would tell you, or tell me, but, you know, again, with any very little experience of, you know, all you have to do is see it once and know that, okay, graphite is, you know, I saw it on that Bahia Brazilian emerald specimen, you know, Shawn showed 10 years ago. And whatever your memory bank can hold, but to me, graphite kind of stands out. And have I seen it associated with any of the other specimen origins? No. So obviously, graphite isn't going to be one of your answers for the question today. It's those associations on a outer level that can tell you origin. Now, it is a whole nother level of understanding when you have a faceted emerald and you have to determine origin by not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside. And that's a whole nother art in itself, but is something that also can be done. And in that case, the more inclusions, the easier it is. The cleaner an emerald, oftentimes the more difficult. But that's for another day. It can be done as well. All right, so that was question number 2. Name 3 other minerals associated with the Crabtree Emerald Mine Matrix. And I say that because most of the Crabtree emeralds are associated with a pretty consistent matrix of one or all of just the 4 minerals that I had mentioned today. I'm only looking for 3 of them. So good luck to all of you. And again, hope you enjoyed today's show. I know I enjoyed it because, you know, showing you some great stuff. And here's the thing. I'm sitting with a big monitor in front of me. We got a great, you know, we're not shooting this with our smartphone like so many other podcasts might do. We're real high tech here, and that's why you get the quality and the definition. And so when I see those insects in the amber, it's like, it's like, whoa, you know, that's really neat to see. I don't get to see that. There's not a National Geographic show that I've ever seen that has shown amber. The only thing closest is the Jurassic Park clip, you know, where they go in and, you know, get the DNA out of the mosquitoes' abdomen where it had drawn blood from one of the dinosaurs. I mean, that is not unrealistic. Simple as that. A lot of the technology we already have. It just takes a big enough, maybe a mosquito, right? But here's the thing. Those bugs were already big. I don't care to see them that big. That's not what I'm used to. So I hope you enjoyed the nature show as much as the mineral show, because especially this show, we're not just about show and sell. We are about show and tell. And also here is, again, like I was just saying when I said, you guys get to see and learn so much more than even other hosts that, you know, maybe they should catch some of this show, because it would add to almost anybody's level of education when you see the unique pieces that you get to see right here on Gem Collectors with Shawn. Catch us next Monday. We'll be here. Thank you so much.